What's up, and welcome to Straight from the Chest. My name is Justin Groth, and I'm your host on this personal development podcast that's geared towards igniting a dormant passion that lays within you. Guys, we are, what is this, episode 110. I'm so grateful to be able to continue to do this. I don't care if no one's listening. I'm still going to do it. But it is definitely a little bit tougher in these days to develop or to maintain a discipline, man, with everything kind of shut down and more time on your hands and all that. It just seems like it's very easy to go off the deep end here. I mean, with food, I was reading something that alcohol consumption is like 55% higher and sex is higher. I know that. We just know that. Staying indoors, you're going to be fucking more often. And then the other thing that was higher is the consumption of sugary foods. So basically we can attest to the fact that all hedonistic pleasures are at an all-time high because we're not really doing shit. And we're sitting at home and it's easy to go to the cupboard and it's easy to pull our favorite snack out and really just get in a depressive state because maybe you're not making as much money as you once were. That check from Trump hasn't came in yet. or even if it did, it's not really helping all that much. It's super easy to get depressed right now in this time. But that should never, ever be an excuse for you to be less than. Because here's the raw truth. We're all going through this shit. We all have choices at the end of the day. This is maybe something you're not going to want to hear, but this is the truth. And if there's one thing that I will promise you that I'll bring you on this channel, it's the raw truth. May it be not so good looking, that's not for you to judge. It's the truth in all of its form. And honestly, being the fact that I'm into fitness and therefore I'm into a healthier lifestyle, you're right, I have a leg up on this. I'm a previous competitor, bodybuilding competitor, so there's an innate discipline in me that probably doesn't reside within most people. But that's because I just give a shit about the way I feel and the way that I present myself to others and myself every day in the mirror. And so therefore, it doesn't matter if I'm exiled to an island with nobody around me, I'm still going to eat good. I can't not be diligent with putting good foods in my body because I'm going to feel like shit. And I don't know about you, I don't want to feel like shit. And so there comes a time where even in this pandemic where we are forced to, we're forced to just stay at home and, have little to no communication with people, social distance. And that's not, I'm going to be honest, that's not what we were bred to do. We were bred to communicate with people. We were bred to build civilizations with people. Like that's how we beget this entire planet. Like the way it is and the way civilization is the way it is. It's because we love to interact and communicate with others. And we have an innate desire to bond with others. And so in this time, we're not able to do that. But it doesn't give you a reason or a pass to just eat your life away or drink your life away. And the one thing that irritates me the most is when I see a little kid, and you're going to hate me for saying this, but that's a fat ass. A little kid being fat. What the fuck? You're the parent. That kid wouldn't be that way if you didn't give it what it wanted. If you introduce sugar to a little kid, a 6-year-old, guess what? That little kid's receptors are going to go fucking crazy over that sugar. And they're going to want sugar morning, noon, night, every single fucking day. And you are the feeder. So if you choose to give in to that kid, then they're going to reap obviously the downfall that is what sugar does to the body. Decays, deteriorates, and inflames the body, and obviously as a byproduct causes weight gain because the calories are so nutrient dense you can just inhale. You can inhale that shit and just honey bun after honey bun after honey bun after cupcake after Slurpee, whatever. That kid is going to end up with a belly. And just you know what it says. I'm gonna be honest. When I see a fat kid, and I'm not saying this to belittle any parent. I'm saying this because this is just the way I feel. You may not agree with it. Your child may be overweight. That's your prerogative. But this is my stance on it. And this is my prerogative. And we all should take ownership over our own prerogative and our perspective, and that's what I'm doing here. So when I tell you that your kid is a byproduct of what your discipline is, that's real shit right there. You clearly cannot say no to that child when you should be telling him no or her no. And if you look deeper, you probably can't say no to yourself. And maybe that's the reason why it bleeds off into your kin. But it shouldn't. Because that child is innocent. She or he knows no better. She or he is helpless. They're at the mercy of whatever your hand puts out to feed them. Why would you ruin or start off their life in a ruined state by giving them shit they don't need? And if you tell me, well, Justin, it's hard or it costs a lot of money to eat nutritious. No, it doesn't. Man, I've been living I could live off fucking eggs and chicken breasts and white rice and pinto beans for the rest of my life. Oh, and peanut butter and oatmeal. All that shit is cheap. You have this consensus that you need to eat organic, you need to eat all these, fresh fruits and vegetables. I mean, yeah, all that shit's good. But that's not a necessity. What's a necessity is getting all the essential amino acids and getting healthy fats and getting good carbohydrates. That's what you need. That's what that kid needs. And water and sleep. And milk. That's fine too. But all that shit is so inexpensive. And here's the thing. If your kid doesn't want to eat what you want to give them, too bad. Give them an option A and an option B. And if they say no to both, well then I guess they're going to bed hungry. And you're saying, oh, well, you can't send a kid to bed hungry. You know what? Fasting has been around for centuries. And it actually is a very healthy way to approach systemic inflammation, to rid the body of shit that it has accumulated and acquired. It's awesome for autophagy, which is basically breaking off the damaged pieces of the cell in the body. So it's an awesome thing. Let that kid go to bed hungry. Bet you they come out better the next day. And they will undermine you with what you choose to give them for their dinner. But that all revolves around how you discipline yourself. Because I promise you, if you're not disciplined within your own eating habits and your own way of life and organization, etc., it's going to bleed off into your kid. Not only are they going to see that from you, they're going to emulate it, but you're probably not going to pass down that same kind of discipline to them. I feel bad for my kid if ever I have a child, because that child is going to know discipline. And not just discipline because I'm a fucking, what do you call those? I'm losing my train of thought. Not because I'm a fucking tyrant, but because they need to know order, obedience, and discipline as it applies to life. And I promise you, the one that's going to water that down is my wife. My wife will be the one to water it down. Because if that child ever throws a fit with regards to what they're going to eat or whatever, then I'll have to intervene. That's just the way that I am. I'm not going to pass at that because you're developing constructs and a mental framework that's going to actually apply to their future and actually build them into the strong man or woman for their future. But you just can't let that subside because you want to make them happy. I get it. You want to make them happy. You want to be their friend, or you want to just, what it is you want to make them happy. Because when they're 6, you don't really care about being their friend. Because you shouldn't. You got problems if you want to care about being your kid's friend at 6. But you probably just want to make them happy. And you want to see a smile on their face. Not at the expense of them getting overweight, systemic inflammation, them developing fucking diabetes before they're 9. That's horrendous. You're the one that's going to do it, Jack. If you continue this, you'll be the one to do it. So you need to take measures in your own hand with yourself first. Just because we're in a quarantine, just because we have this shit going on in the world, that doesn't mean that you just, throw all sheets to the wind and just say, fuck it, and I'm gonna drink, and I'm gonna eat shit, whatever I want. Look, man, I get being down on your luck for a day or a day and a half, but then you gotta suit back up, and you gotta get back on the fucking truck, man, and you gotta keep going, you gotta keep pressing, because what are you gonna do when this all ends? You've now developed a weak mindset going into the future, and you've done yourself no favors. You've backtracked. I understand your gym's closed. I understand you can't go to your favorite bar and relax with your buddies. I understand all that. No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. We're all going through that same mess. You need to pick yourself up, and you need to fucking develop some discipline. And keep fucking putting your manly face on for the future. You can't be fucking just laying back and just letting this shit take control of you. Because if you do, it will, I promise you. Right now, go in your fucking cupboards, take out all your liquor, throw it away. All your junk food, maybe save some Pop-Tarts and shit here and there for a rainy day. But for the most part, take all that shit out. You're not doing yourselves a favor. And feeling down on yourself, we're all in the same pool. Stop it already. This shit's going to go on for another few months. Who cares? We're all just going to have to live through it and adjust as a byproduct. If you can't chameleonize, what good are you? You need to chameleonize and adjust your life right now. Because we're all having to do that. You don't mask it with alcohol or shit food. And you definitely don't lay those habits on your kids. I love all of you. That's the only reason why I speak this way. I'm not talking down to you. I'm just talking to you. If you're in this pool of people, I'm just saying we shouldn't advocate this. This is not what you deserve. And this is not you. You're not weak like this. You're better than that. But you need to actually extract that strength. I know it's there. Done.